The dreams and ideas of free men are as an army of shadows, and as impossible to strike down. Colonel Adam Craze, 1736 through 1760. There is a statue of the great colonel erected in his honor at the Lovecraft Academy campus. That's where Jordan, Tyler Locke's classmate, likes to hang out alone. And, as she puts it, everything is fucked. Completely fucked. "Oh, I'm sorry to hear it," Tyler says, attempting to play it cool. "Can I sit with you?" "Yeah," Jordan sighs. "Finish your paper for ethics?" "No. Downloaded a paper on the topic, but I'm not going to turn it in. I think if you cheat in an ethics class, then there's really no hope for you." Jordan pushes back her hair. "I'm so full of shit. I'd cheat in a second, but I got caught downloading a paper at my last school. Of course, if I didn't pass ethics, I'll probably be out on my ass anyway." "You look better with the top of your head on," she comments quietly. Tyler apologizes for what happened the previous Friday. If he knew that Jordan was going to spaz out like that, he wouldn't have played her so hard. Besides, chicks usually love the disappearing head trick. Tyler smirks. Jordan squints her eyes. "It's a trick. You're saying it's a trick." "What else?" "It didn't seem like a trick." "Well, maybe it wasn't then. Maybe I'm playing you now. Wanna see another trick? Wanna see some serious Houdini shit? Abracadabra. Instant ethics paper. All you have to do is delete where it says, 'By Tyler Locke,' and put your name." "No way. Tyler, come on." "I'll just say I couldn't do it. No one expects me to get anything done anyway." Jordan's mouth hangs open. "Ty, this makes no sense." "It makes sense. You just said you can't afford to fail, whereas I've got a free pass all semester long. I think helping you out when you're stuck is kind of ethical." Tyler holds up a flash drive, and his smirk never fades. Jordan responds by kissing Tyler on the cheek, snatching the flash drive, and running away, leaving him to enjoy the small victory and the rest of his morning. Across campus, Kinsey is hanging out, people watching, by an old tree, appreciating her day and appreciating her company. "I could sit here with you all day," she says to Zach. "Not much chance of that. I've got a class, first period." Zach responds coolly as he watches Tyler walk to his class in the opposite direction. "There's a plan. Maybe you aren't scared of anything, but I am. Starting with your hulkling brother, who is also my friend. I'm not sure how matching tattoos would go over with him. Speaking of Ty, there he is. That's my cue to roll. I should catch up to him." Zach then kisses Kinsey on the forehead before racing off to class, freeing her up to be visited by another individual. "So, does he fancy you, or is it more of a just friends type arrangement? Or something in between? Friends with benefits, perhaps?" "Maybe I fancy him," Kinsey responds snarkily. The boy pokes his head out from around the tree and tells Kinsey, "I don't see it myself, not based on what I know about you." The boy introduces himself as Scott Kavanaugh. Kinsey stuck her head out a window and nearly threw up on him a few weeks ago. But other than that, they've had little contact. At the time, Kinsey was dressing like the girls on the Spirit Club and wore her hair like some Christian in a prayer group. "You don't really fancy that dark-haired boy, do you?" Scott asks. "I do. He's cool." "Nothing but. That's his problem. I like his alternative but not too alternative lip ring. That way, he can be edgy, but still sneer at anyone who's really different." Kinsey stands to her feet and throws her back over her shoulder. "He doesn't sneer at people. He's a nice guy. You don't know one thing about him, or about me." "Oh no?" Scott chuckles. "There is one thing I know about you. I know your father's name was Rendell Locke. So what? And it happens his name is written on the wall in the Drowning Cave, along with some other stuff. Ever been there?" "What's this cave?" Kinsey asks, genuinely curious. "Kids from this school have been going there for years to drink and make out, but no one has gone deeper into them than me, not counting the kids who died." "What kids?" "I'm not too clear on that, really. Some unlucky blokes in the 70s or something went down there to get stoned and drowned when the tide came in. You see, the lower levels are flooded out, and the water is known to suddenly rise at high tide." "Show me," Kinsey demands. "Love to. This afternoon, after last bell. Oh, and I want something in return for leading you to the place where your father put his mark. I want to ask you 3 questions, which you have to answer truthfully." "Why?" "I figured I was more likely to get that than a makeout session." Kinsey smiles, pushes her hair back, and stands back to her feet. "I'm not afraid of the dark, and I'm not scared of kissing, and I'm sure as hell not scared of the truth. I'll see you back here after the last bell." Later, after the last bell, Scott escorts Kinsey to the Drowning Caves. The bone-chilling waves crash against the slippery, jagged rocks near the entrance of the cave, making it difficult to walk. "Pretty down here, isn't it?" Kinsey asks a begrudging Jackie, whom she dragged along. "Beautiful," Jackie grunts. "Try to burn it into your memory. Might be the last time we ever see daylight." "Did you tell anyone where we're going?" "I didn't want to give anyone the chance to tell me no," Kinsey responds. "My mom thinks I'm studying at your house. The only thing that worries me is that these two might think it's a date." Kinsey motions over to Scott and the friend he brought as well, a boy wearing a red jacket and an orange hat. "Oh, now, don't act like the idea is so terrible," Scott comments. "When you come down to it, what could be more romantic than a few hours of scrambling around in a cold, dripping hole known for occasionally flooding and drowning people?" Scott's friend watches as both the girls cringe, and he turns to Scott and gives him a thumbs up. "Way to sell it, bro." The kids enter the cave and descend the stairway into the darkness. Scott's friend with the red jacket leads the way as he holds up a small flashlight to help him navigate. At the base of the staircase, they pass a sign littered with graffiti that reads, "East Battery 13." Lovecraft Station. U.S. government personnel only. Caution. Stairs may be wet. East Battery? Kinsey reads out. What is this place? It was a naval observation point in World War II, the boy in the jacket responds. They had guys stationed in here with artillery, the big 6-inch guns, looking for U-boats and bombers and stuff. The GIs ever see anything? Nah, the only people to ever get bombed down in these caves snuck in here after prom. The kids navigate through an empty corridor and find a large door with a number 1 embedded in the center of it. Kinsey, naturally, attempts to push the door open. Ugh. Do any of these doors open? She asks, frustrated. They got most of them sealed off pretty good. They don't want anyone else ever getting trapped down here. What do you think is in there? Barracks, probably. But it's better not knowing, because then you can daydream. Who knows what they did down here in the war? What do you wish was in there? Scott asks, interjecting himself into the conversation. Sunlight, Jackie says flatly. Brains in glass jars, like all geniuses, chimes in the boy in red. An experimental time travel machine, giggles Kinsey. What about you, Scott? God, I was thinking a room stocked with kegs of aged beer. You lot all daydream much bigger than I do. The kids reach the end of the corridor and are met with a rickety fence blocking their way. Kinsey and Scott quickly examine it and discover they are able to pull up the bottom just enough for each of them to shuffle in. They then pass a wall with a large number 3 painted on the side and enter a flooded stairwell. Scott gasps at the sight of it. The Christing water! What are you saying? Kinsey asks. There didn't used to be water here? Not so much, the boy in red responds. It was lower. Must change with the tides. Last time we came here, it had to be 6 feet lower at least. Kinsey crosses her arms. I knew this was bullshit. The hell it is, Scott yells. His name was written on the wall, maybe 12 steps down. It must be just below the water. 12 steps down? Are you sure? Kinsey kneels over and begins untying her shoes. Are any of those flashlights waterproof? What are you doing? Jackie snaps. I want to see if it's there. I'll be in and out 30 seconds. Kavanaugh, give me one of those glow sticks. Kinsey dips a toe into the water and shivers are sent through her spine. That's cold. That's very cold. Jackie blocks off her path. That's right, it's cold, like as in hypothermia. And you don't know if there's currents. Jackie grabs Kinsey by the arm and she just shakes herself free. It'll be all right. I'm not afraid. I'm not questioning your bravery. I'm questioning your intelligence. Yeah, but there's something I need to see on the other side of stupid. Stay here. I'm going to want my jacket when I get out. Jackie rolls her eyes. Oh, can I stay here? Thanks. I think I will. Scott sees this and prepares for his own subnautical descent by removing his pants, revealing his pair of tighty-whities. Jackie cringes. Scott's friend laughs. Dude, what are you doing? You're making a terrible mistake. I won't die from a little cold, Scott remarks. I'm not talking about your life. I'm talking about your tragic choice of underwear and your decision to let two totally likable girls see them. Hold the fort, Jamal. If I don't come back, tell my mother I love her. Scott cracks a glow stick and jumps into the water. He shivers a bit, which makes Kinsey laugh. When I said get down here, I didn't mean you had to come in the water. I was seized by the sudden fantasy of myself as Leonardo DiCaprio. Besides, it isn't so bad. Like Brighton Beach in July. I think we're close to where it's written. Okay, I'm gonna go look. Kinsey takes a breath, dives underwater, and scans the area for any kind of writings, drawings, or carvings. It doesn't take her long to find her father's name, Randall Locke, and along with it, a number of other things. Another name, something Voss, was under her dad's, and above them, the phrase, the keepers of the keys. Kinsey holds out as long as she can, but eventually, she runs out of breath. As she crashes back to the surface, Scott asks, Did you? Saw it, but it's down, way down. I couldn't read much. I need to go again. Try and get deeper. Back from the safety of the stairs, Jackie calls out that Kinsey has had her fun. She saw the writing on the wall. Now, it's time to come back. Jamal tells her, It's all cool. They'll be out in a sec. Let's not panic until we have something to. At that moment, a rat falls from a vent above them directly onto Jamal's shoulder. He screams out in disgust and jumps to his feet, flinging his arm around in an attempt to remove it. Fucking rat! Everyone run! Jamal's sporadic behavior is too much for the old, rusted screws holding the flight of stairs to take, and it forces them to crack and break apart from the wall. Jamal and Jackie, along with the stairs, then crash into the unforgiving water below.